I'm going to give you a little case study. Maybe we
Yeah,
can talk
yeah,
about.
sure.
So I have my real estate divorce certification. I'm a specialist in divorce with real estate. And part of that certification, we had all kind of things thrown at us. And what if this, and what if this, and this scenario, and this scenario. One of them was, people don't always get divorced just one time.
Right,
I don't
right,
know how they go through it more than once. Honestly, I went through it once. I never would want to even consider going through it again.
right.
But it was basically talking about how this woman who had her first husband's, like exactly what you said, she had half of that, gets married to the second husband in enough time, and also is able to. How many times can someone do that? Or do they then have to drop the first husbands if they're going to take the second husbands? How does that? Because I remember that scenario and I was sitting here trying to say, how did that go?
Right, right. So with Social Security, you can only draw one benefit. So you're going to get hopefully the highest number that of all these options, whether it's husband number one or husband number two or whatever's going on, but you can only get one benefit.
Okay.
Now you could be in a situation where you're a couple times divorced and have two different like pensions coming in. That certainly happens. I know pensions are becoming less and less of a thing these days, but they still exist. And that definitely can be a thing. Whatever you were awarded in your divorce, even if it's been 2 or 3 divorces, that's all valid. But yeah, Social Security is just going to be, you get one benefit and you look at what you can qualify for and that's it. And obviously pick the highest number based on what's available to you.
Okay. So then you couldn't get your own either, for example, that
No,
scenario.
no,
So you can't
no,
get
you would
yours
just pick
and
the high.
his. You have to
Right,
choose one. Now, would you
right.
be able to know what that is, or do you just have it written up?
Yeah.
Whoever is greater is how does that work?
You can tell a lot just from the web. The Social Security website is actually
Okay.
pretty, pretty detailed information. It talks about it in pretty plain English. I find it's pretty useful
Okay.
that you can look it up and get a sense of it and you'll know, here's what my benefit would have been. Here's ex-spouse, what that looked like. And I can pick the higher number. But yeah, you only get one. So
Okay. So one more going a little bit deeper, and then I'll and
yeah,
then I'll stop.
yeah, yeah. No, it's
One
a
more
big topic.
deeper. So let's say I'm not doing this again, so we're not going to use me. But let's say a woman decides, okay, his is better than mine, but she's young enough, right? And she
Yeah.
decides, all of a sudden, great opportunity. She's killing it, and it ends up where hers would have been better. Can she reverse that and say, I'm sure he wouldn't have a problem with it, right? No, yeah,
Yeah. Oh
take
yeah.
it back. You can reverse it. And she could say, no, I'll go with mine. Thanks.
Right. Yeah. Because what you do in your divorce isn't dictating how Social Security benefits work. It really, when you get divorced and you read your divorce judgment, Social Security is not even mentioned in there.
Oh, right.
These are just laws and rules that are just sort of going on, and you're not really, what you're choosing to do in your divorce isn't affecting it. You have the same rights. So you might, at the time you get divorced, you might think, yeah, I haven't really worked a lot. He or she was making way more money than me. So I'm probably going to apply for their benefit at retirement. But then you spend another 20 years working and your benefit is now higher than what theirs would have been, because it's half of theirs. It's not what they get. So
Right.
you just pick the highest number, but you have options at least, which is good. You have what you put in and you have what they put in, and you can choose. The hard part is you only get 50% of what their benefit is. So theirs is going to have to be pretty high to be better than yours if you're talking about half. But it's there. It's available. Some people just don't really pay in much their whole life, and it's good to have as a fallback.
Yeah.